Hey folks, so a couple weeks ago you watched me kind of salt these Coppa mussels, which are it's the muscle that runs down in the pig's, like from their neck, and it runs down through the front shoulder. So the upper front shoulder of a pig is called the Boston butt, and this Coppa muscle runs through that Boston butt. Many people would know the Boston butt because pulled pork sandwiches is what that's made from. So at any rate, this is called the money muscle. This is called the money muscle that is running through the shoulder. So these have been just salted, and they've been in the refrigerator, and you can kind of see the moisture that's pulled out of that. You can kind of see it in the bottom of the bag there. So this is, we're going to take this and we're going to put it in. Normally I'd run this under a tap, but just in the interest of this video, I'm going to just kind of rinse these off because you want to get that salt residue kind of off them. And then I'll set them aside, and then I'm going to actually pat them dry. And I'm actually also, and I'm just going to take you through one of them. I'll have to do the rest after. But so we're going to take this one here. And if you look in that bowl, you can see like how much salt residue it already changed color. Like it's kind of like, you know, orangish also almost in there from that coming off of there. So I'm going to take this, give it a little pat dry, and that's mainly just to make it a little easier for me to work with. And the first couple times I did this, I did not do any other manipulation, meaning making it round. But when it's flat muscle like this and it's being dry aged, it can get case hardening because the surface area is so large and it's such a short distance to the center that the whole outside can really dry at a rate that's too quick. So by making this into more of a circle, then it changes the distance from the outside to the center, and it can kind of slowly kind of dry age at a different kind of pace kind of thing. So I'm just going to massage this a little bit to a different shape-ish, and then I'm going to put some of this on it. So this is just a net wrap I just got from Amazon, and this just kind of helps hold that shape a little bit. It's a little difficult to work with, but for the small amount we're doing, will be fine. Sure, there's a better way. I know there is some applicators that almost look like a funnel that you can shove these through to make it work better, but again, for the amount that we do, this should be more than enough. So a little more of it. Wow, that stuff is not ideal. Okay, but I do think that will be enough right there, so that might help me maneuver it a little bit. It's not easy to do this with a wet piece of meat. But this will really, like I said, the first couple of these we did last year, we did not use any of this netting, and it went really flat on us. And I've done a couple of these already this year, and they're certainly holding their shape significantly better. I do think I didn't go through that one exactly right this time, but it's not important to be perfect at everything. I think I could fool with that and kind of whatever, but I don't think I also need to. If you were doing this in like a dry aging chamber where you'd actually hung it, then you would want a better thing, tie the end and tie this end and hang it right from that netting. But we're not doing that. Ours will dry age in our fridge. So it's over the end, and now you can see the significant difference from where I started to where I'm at now, as far as it's essentially round now. So still a little wet to the touch, I can still feel it, so I'm gonna I'm going to dab that off again. And this meat product will be never cooked. It will just be dry aged in our fridge, and when it's ready, and readiness is determined by when we're done this whole procedure, we will weigh it, and when 35% of that weight that it starts at today is gone, that's how we'll know it's done and ready. Okay, so that's that. I have a pre-made up bag of spices, which these spices are, there's sugar, there's salt, there's number 2 curing salt, which is just like a pink. It is a nitrate that everyone gets mad about, but it's kind of important with the when you're doing a dry cured meat like this to have those to make sure you don't get the botulism and those other bad things you could have in the meat. Juniper berries, sugar, just a few of those things, but we've been doing up enough of these. I just made a huge batch of it the last time I did it. So put that on here and kind of work it all into that. Probably it's bad form to reach my hand into that bag and whatever, but again, this is for us, so this is not anything, and I should have stated that earlier. This is nothing that the public will ever have access to, because we're not allowed to do anything like that kind of processing with meat for the public. So we don't. This is just for Jill and I. That's it. Up a little bit. Try to get some on that end. Oh, I guess I did already, so that's not bad. So the net wrap kind of impacts a little about how it gets in there, and it's not as ideal that way, but I tried it the other way where I put the spice on and then put the net wrap, and that was so much worse. So this will be as good as we can kind of make it. Okay. And then I have my, just bear with me, where'd I put my bags? Oh, over here. Right back. Oh, Joe, can you plug the back sealer in again? Oh, we'll need it. So these are a special bag. Joe, actually, maybe could I get you to roll that bag on the inside, like roll it down a little? So there, off camera, I had Jill kind of roll this bag down, and that's so I can help make a decent seal of it later. And then again, try to keep it in a somewhat round shape, and into this bag it goes. And like I say, these are a special bag called a dry aging bag, and they're made by Umai Dry. I bought them off of Amazon. And now I'm going to take this to my vac sealer. And if our vac sealer is a different style, so we have what's called a chamber style. If you have the food saver version, like a Costco version, there's a slight difference. There's a little wick pad that goes into this to allow it to actually vacuum. Because ours is a chamber, I don't need that. And it takes about 40 seconds, somewhere around there on this machine, and it's all changed. I can set it for however. So the difference between this vac sealer and the Costco version, the Costco version actually pulls out of the bag. Mine evacuates inside the chamber of the vacuum of the vacuum machine, and then it collapses it and forces the air out of the bag. So with this one, we can do liquids where the other one can't, because you might suck the liquid up, and then there you go. So that's what it's going to look like now, and it's going to sit in the fridge this way, and then we're going to take and put a measurement on this. Do I make it you to punch or to write the number on it if it was all right? and today's date. So 3.76. So 3.76 pounds, and when that loses 35% of that, so what's 30%, so 10%, 3.7, whatever, so it won't take long for that to be gone. All right, folks, see ya.